From New York, it's That Kevin Show.
See, I knew it.
Come on, Kev. What's a few classified documents between friends?
I told you all the time. I knew it. I knew he had some too.
Here he is, That Kevin McCullough.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is someone that I am always thrilled to be able to talk to, because not only has he lived a life of longevity with one simple message to his to his life and to his ministry and his calling on this planet, but he does so with winsomeness, with a smile, with a word of encouragement, and he does so in a way that causes people to think. I'm talking about the author of the brand new book, How to Read the Bible as If Your Life Depends on It, Dr. Michael Youssef. Hello, sir.
Hello, Kevin. So good to see you.
Last time we were able to be together, it was in person in studio, but man, that was before COVID and a whole bunch of other stuff has gone.
I know.
down. What do you make of where we are in 2024 right now?
Well, it's a big mess, to say the least. For us, at least from our eyes, it's a mess. But from God's eyes, it is not. He's got it all worked out. He's got the plan. Nobody can thwart his plans. But from a human point of view, still you cannot help but feel that a state that has been for 20 years really becoming conservative, becoming very thoughtful in their approach. They moved a long way away from the old days. We had Sonny Perdue as our governor, the first one in 135 years as a Republican. And then all of a sudden, the bottom fell off the bag, and then with the influx of people from, I'm told there are about 100,000 moving in here every month. Wow. And they're coming from your way, and sadly, the message sometimes I give when I'm locally, I tell them, I said, look, you come here, don't turn it into the places that you left, because that's a mess you left.
You're running away from one thing. Why would you want to take it with you?
Exactly. And but the state. I was just having lunch today with one of the leaders of the state government, and the state is changing, particularly Atlanta. Now, the rest of Georgia is remaining stalwart and strong, but the city of Atlanta, where that influx of others who are coming in from other parts of the country is really changing. And we haven't been able to get a Republican senator elected in the last 3 years.
Well, Dr. Youssef, as you know, I'm not a hardcore Republican or Democrat. I want godliness and common sense to take hold, but I do not believe that the parties are neutral on very important issues, and so therefore I tend to sound like I'm more one than the other for sure. But let me ask you about this, and I think it's something that the nation's grappling with. I wrote a piece for Town Hall on Sunday that talked about 5.9 million people coming into our country. We don't know where they're from. We don't know who they are. And as many as 1.8 million of those have come across without even being stopped, just getting away into the influx of the country. Now you're Egyptian by background. You care very much about the Middle East. You were here on 9/11. You know what has gone on in our country. Is there a Christian ethic to a southern border being established?
Absolutely. I think laws and government that are given by God, according to Romans 13, to protect the citizenry. In fact, the federal government has only two roles: is to protect the citizens and defend them, and none of the other stuff that has increased with time. But I can tell you, and I speak as an immigrant, when I immigrated to this country, I had to, and my family, we had to go through medical examination, not by our doctor, local doctor that we go to, but the embassy, the American embassy doctor. We had to prove that we have clearance from the tax department, that we owe no taxes in the country that we're in. We had to prove a police report that we have no police records in the countries we come from. All of that, and when you think about it, I had to sign an affidavit I've never been involved with a communist party or a communist apparatus. Yeah. And all of that was fine. I never complained. I thought it was wonderful. And because that's what a country's supposed to be, is protecting their citizens. But when you open a border under the guise of compassion, that's not compassion. Especially when you bring in criminals in order, I mean, imagine me as a father. I would open my door to criminals to come into my house where, my family is not protected. I would be very irresponsible. In fact, I would be a partner in crime. And that is what is happening to us as a nation. God gave us a government in order to protect the citizenry. Now we're opening the door and said, criminals, come in here, attack the citizens, loot the shops, do whatever you want to do. There are no consequences. And that is absolutely a miscarriage of responsibility and justice for any nation. It doesn't matter which nation, any nation. And all nations have laws that we are saying, let the lawless come in and destroy our country.
We're speaking with Dr. Michael Youssef, who is the senior pastor at the Church of the Apostles in Atlanta, Georgia, and has a wonderful media ministry. He's heard coast to coast on Leading the Way every single day, including here in New York City, and on many of the Salem stations that would be associated with the Salem News Channel that we're on tonight. Dr. Youssef, let me ask you another question before we get into the discussion of your book, and that is, in this coming election, there's going to be a lot said. In fact, California just passed a law yesterday. The governor of California signed it into law. They are going to fine schools that choose to take out books from their library that deal with critical race theory in an offensive way, or more or less pornographic in terms of what they have in them. And by that, friends, I'm not overstating this. These are literally books where if parents take them to school board meetings and try to read them to the school board, they get shut down and escorted out of the meeting because they're so profane. But the governor of California is saying he will not let them be taken out of school libraries, and he's going to fine the school districts if they try to. Dr. Youssef, what is this?
It's satanic. That's all it is. From our Christian point of view, it's pure satanic activities. The destruction of the family is Satan's desire from day one. He destroyed the marriage of Adam and Eve by having rebelled against God. And he has been trying to do this ever since. First of all, of course, he's trying to have conduct a coup d'etat to unseat God from his throne, and then he got thrown out of heaven with a third of the angelic being, and they are creating havoc. And I really believe that Satan is now sensing that his time coming to an end. And he does not know the times. Even Jesus said he did not, and only the Father knows the moment where the world is going to end. But he senses it. He can read the tea leaves of it, as it were, and he feels that his time is coming to an end, and therefore he is intensifying his activities and turning the very government that we need to protect us to work against us and against our children.
The interesting thing about that statement right there is that it sets us up to come back from this next break and talk about why you need to read the Bible as though your life depends on it with Dr. Michael Youssef. Stay here.
Ready or not, he'll be right back. That Kevin.